Please be aware, in this podcast series we talk about all areas of safeguarding, which some people may find upsetting. So please make sure you're okay listening to today's topic. Be mindful of those around you, such as children, that you might not want to listen in. Hi, I'm SSS Safeguarding Director Sam Preston.
And I'm former head teacher and content author Sara Spinks.
Today we're delving further into plans to protect children from online harms. Now, as we've discussed in previous podcasts, with more exposure to an ever-expanding range of digital platforms, ensuring the safety of children in the online world is more important than ever. So to address this issue, Ofcom, that's the UK's communications regulator, Ofcom has proposed a comprehensive set of measures under the direction of the UK Online Safety Act. So Ofcom, as the regulator of the Online Safety Act, is embarking on its second major consultation to establish new regulations, and these are really important. The consultation specifically addresses the proposals regarding how internet services facilitating user-generated content, so that's referred to as user-to-user services, and search engines, how they should fulfil their new responsibilities concerning the harmful content aimed at children. So key areas that are covered in the consultation includes assessing the likelihood of children accessing the service, understanding the causes and impacts of harm to children, and developing strategies for services to assess and mitigate risks associated with harm to children. So these proposals are informed by extensive research conducted by Ofcom, as well as insights gathered through comprehensive engagement with industry stakeholders and subject matter experts. So let's break down these proposals and let's see what they entail. So Sarah, can you talk us through the main elements of Ofcom's proposals and exactly what they're consulting on?
Well, phase one of Ofcom's proposal involves assessing whether children can access online services. They've introduced draft guidance called Children's Access Assessment Guidance to assist service providers in meeting these assessments. Providers are required to conduct children access assessments to determine if their service or a part of it is likely to be accessed by children. These are two stages involved. Stage one, where providers determine if children can access their service, and stage two, where they assess if significant numbers of children are using the service or if it's likely to attract them.
I think, just to be clear, we're not just talking about the usual platforms. This is any kind of online service that offers user to user and also search engines. Yeah. So as I understand it, in stage one, service providers, they must determine if children can access their service unless they're already using highly effective age assurance methods to prevent that access. So examples might include photo ID matching, facial age estimation. So I think a key question is what happens if the child user condition is met? In essence, what do they have to do if they identify it is a child trying to access the platforms?
Yeah, well, if the child user condition is met, services must complete children's risk assessments to identify and mitigate risks. Ofcom has published draft guidance to assist services in completing these assessments.
Okay, so just to be clear on that, they're going to have to put something in place to identify if a user is a child accessing the services. And then they're going to have to put things in place around what they allow them access to. So that's kind of phase one, isn't it? So what about phase two?
Well, moving on to phase two, this focuses on determining if the child user condition is met. So this condition is met if either a significant number of children are using the service or if the service is likely to attract a significant number of children.
So in essence, providers must choose which criteria to consider first, and because distinguishing between adult and child users can be challenging, providers may actually choose to focus on whether the service is likely to attract children.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And Ofcom has proposed a list of factors for providers to consider when making this assessment, including the service's benefit to children, the appeal of its content and design to children, and whether children are part of the service's commercial strategy.
So presumably this has been brought in place to say, to do away with that old argument of when services have been criticised or things have gone terribly wrong, them to say, well, we don't know who accesses our services, so how can we put preventative measures in place?
Yeah,
it's really tightening that up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So phase 3 of Ofcom's proposal, that focuses on implementing safety measures to protect children online. So the draft children's safety codes outline safety measures for user-to-user and search engines to adopt in order to enhance child safety online, aren't they?
That's right, yeah. And these measures are designed to be proportionate and aim to meet the duties set out in the Act. So they cover areas such as robust governance and accountability, safer platform design choices, and providing children with information, tools and support.
So these measures, they aim to make a significant difference in children's online experiences by preventing them from accessing harmful content and providing them with the necessary support to navigate the digital world safely. That's the driver, isn't it?
Yeah.
But let's delve a bit deeper into each area of the proposal and explore the feasibility of the proposed safety measures. I think we need to look at that in more detail. So let's start with what they're saying, robust governance and accountability measures.
Well, these measures are crucial for ensuring that online platforms have effective oversight and decision-making processes are in place to protect children. So they include annual reviews of risk assessment and risk management activities and the sort of appointment of accountable individuals.
Who, as I understand it, will be held personally responsible. It's not just a corporate responsibility.
Yeah, that's right. And, in addition, there must be evidence of implementation of employee codes of conduct.
So these measures aim to create a culture of accountability within online platforms and culture where child safety is prioritised at all levels of decision making. Moving on to safer platform design choices. Phase 3 proposes measures to ensure that online platforms are designed in a way that minimises risk to children. This includes implementing highly effective age assurance methods to prevent children from accessing harmful content and configuring recommender systems to filter out that inappropriate content.
Yeah, that's right, Sam. So by leveraging technology and design choices, online platforms can create safer environments for children to explore and interact online. And lastly, phase 3 introduces measures to provide children with information, tools and support to enhance their online safety. And this includes clear terms of service, easily accessible reporting mechanisms and age-appropriate support materials.
So these measures empower children really to take control of their online experiences and to seek help when needed. But services must provide them with the right tools and information. They need to help them navigate the online world safely. That's what this focus is, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's crucial that children are equipped with the knowledge and the resources they need to stay safe online.
So now that we've covered the proposed measures in each phase, how has Ofcom determined which services should implement each measure?
Well, that's a really important question, Sam. The Act mandates that measures in the codes must align with online safety objectives, prioritising the protection of children. However, it also emphasises proportionality, ensuring that measures match the level of risk posed by services of different sizes and capacities.
So while all services accessed by children must implement core protective measures, additional measures, they're being proposed for higher risk services, aren't they?
Yeah.
As I understand it, these recommendations are based on criteria such as service type, risk assessment outcomes, functionalities, service size.
Yeah, and larger services with greater resources are expected to implement more extensive measures, while smaller services are required to implement measures that are proportionate to their size and risk level. One of the things I was interested to see was the requirement for safer algorithms.
Yeah. Platforms. And remember, we're not just talking about social platforms. You know, it includes all providers, as I said earlier, even search engines. They'll be required to filter out the most harmful content and downrank other harmful content from children's feeds. And they'll also have to provide a mechanism where children can feed back so that the algorithm can learn what content they don't want to see.
Absolutely, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. However, the current algorithm model, that's based on recognition of engagement. So as engagement increases, the algorithm promotes it by delivering more and more related content. We've all experienced this. You know, you search for an item and suddenly all the links, images, adverts, pop-ups appearing on your screen are for similar or alternative or related products. Big tech doesn't do this as a benefit to you. They make money this way. So their algorithms are going to have to work very, very differently. In fact, the opposite of the current model, really, and reduce access to content.
That's a challenge then, isn't it? And they'll also have the challenge of effective moderation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, online service providers, you know, they will be required to have clear policies on what kind of content's allowed, how content is prioritised for review, and for content moderation teams to be really well resourced and trained.
Yeah, so that real accountability is needed.
So there's obviously a lot for online service companies to consider, and that's ongoing. You know, listeners, you can have your say about Ofcom's proposals by completing their consultation. That closes on the 17th of July this year, 2024. You can find a link to the consultation in my article on this, Ofcom Protecting Children from Harms Online, and that's available on the SSS Learning website.